before it as to circumstances and conduct are such that irrespective of the existence of any other motive or motives that may have been identified or stated, and which will no doubt be present in most real-world cases, a genocidal intent also must have been present. Myanmar's assertion that in the conduct of the clearance operations targeting Rohingya villages, it was merely undertaking counter-terrorism operations, cannot, therefore, serve of itself to rebut the existence of a genocidal intent. It is perfectly possible for there to have been a counter-terror motive behind some of Myanmar's actions, but at the same time, in the course of those operations, a genocidal intent also existed and prevailed, and in some form propelled the actions that were taken. Indeed, as Judge Kansare Trindade recognized in the Croatia case, and I quote, "Genocide may be a means for achieving military objectives just as readily as military conflict may be a means for instigating a genocidal plan." End of quote. In establishing whether genocidal intent must have been present in the context of a pattern of conduct, the court helpfully indicated in the Croatian judgment some of the most important indicators of that intent. And I'll mention four. They are, first, and I quote, "the scale and allegedly systematic nature of the attack." End of quote. Second, the fact that those attacks are said to have caused casualties and damage far in excess of what was justified by military necessity. End of quote. Third, quote, "the specific targeting of members of the protected group." End of quote. And fourth, quote, "the nature, extent, and degree of the injuries caused to the protected population." End of quote. In this case, the UN fact-finding mission, an independent body, has a key role, and its findings, we say, are authoritative. It has identified 7 indicators of genocidal intent, not in abstracto, but in the vast amount of evidence it has gathered in respect of Myanmar's actions towards the Rohingya. And they strongly correlate with the factors the court identified that I've just mentioned in the Croatia judgment in relation to patterns of conduct. So the UN FFM, entrusted with functions by the United Nations, concluded that genocidal intent to destroy a Rohingya people as such could be inferred in the following way. First, the Tatmadaws' extreme brutality in its attacks on the Rohingya. Second, the organized nature of the Tatmadaws' destruction. Third, the enormity and nature of the sexual violence perpetrated against women and girls during the clearance operations. Fourth, the insulting, derogatory, racist, and exclusionary utterances of Myanmar officials and others prior, during, and after the clearance operations. Fifth, the existence of discriminatory plans and policies. Sixth, the government's